Okay, that's my agent texting. Get the fuck out of there, he's saying. Okay, here he is, the legend that is Robbie Bottom! Look at me coming on from back there like some sort of diva. Is the back of the room just comedians as well? Yeah. More or less, yeah, I hope. People. I'm Robbie Bonham, by the way. I used to make a living from this shit. I'd probably make more of a living if I didn't draw cartoons of people. Well, what can you do? Yeah, hello. I don't know. I was saying it's awkward when it's all. I know. I'll free up my hands for a start, so I can do some wacky physical comedy if my mental stuff gets a bit too intense for anybody. I don't even do impersonations. I can do Kevin Gildea, and that's it. And nobody here knows it. No, it's just the one line. All I can do is. It was a dog. That's all. It's the only one. I can do a couple of. There's a couple of physical ones. I did a gig in Cork a few years ago, and I got caught in rain. Because that's what Cork does, and I had to follow. I was only an open spot comedian at the time that had to do shit rough gigs that didn't pay and had a disinterested audience of mostly comedians. Do you remember those days? And I had to stay in this guy's house, but he wasn't going back till about 4 AM, so I had to follow him around in the rain the entire night. And we got back to his house, I was drenched through. You know the kind of rain where your underpants go black? Right? I had to stay in his house. He'd no fucking heating. He'd no tumble dryer, he'd no microwave. I had to basically put on wet clothes the next day to get a bus back to Dublin from Cork. And I discovered when you put on wet clothes, you can only walk like C-3PO. It's kind of this kind of thing. Even the MC's not paying attention. So,
yeah, C-3PO wet clothes, I'm listening.
It was a visual gag. C-3PO. There's just one slight change with that. If you want to do the Thunderbirds puppets walk, you have to attach your elbows to your legs. So it's kind of like that, but that's oh fuck, it's a big film. So I don't know, it's mostly comedians, so I'm not even going to try and pretend that I'm coming up with fabulous jokes off the top of my head, because I've heard it all 8 years ago. I'm going to be honest with you, I've been cracking up over the last year. I'm getting myself into all sorts of crazy fun with insane psychotic women. Never I don't know why I left my ex. No, I realised it was safer with my ex, but I obviously don't crave safety. The last 3 years of my life have been fucking insane, and I discovered something the other day. I am, just for anybody who doesn't know who I am a big shot. It's just not coming through right now. I particularly feel sorry for people that just walked in and are standing down at the back of the bar. It's alright, I'll be gone in 5 to 55 minutes. There's my chips. Everybody brings a drink up. Nobody thinks to bring up snacks, do they? That's just a weird thing. So, I'll tell you where I am in my life at the minute. I'm a recovering alcoholic. It's not funny. It's a horrible disease to live with. Fuck you. Do you not think I want to fucking drink really badly? Do you not realise how much easier this gig would be if I was drunk right now? Yeah. Anybody got any drugs? It's worth trying. So, I recently had a relapse. I've been off drink for 9 years, and I've had a few relapses in the last year and a half of my life. Huh?
That's the boy.
That's the boy. Oh yeah. You have to see if the alcoholism is still there. There's only one way to find that out, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny, the little things that get you drinking again. Like in the last 9 years, I've broken up with my fiancée, who I was with for 8 years. I didn't drink on it. I've got beaten up and had to get my head stapled together. I didn't drink on it. I've had a couple of insane run-ins with women. I didn't drink on it. But about 8 months ago, I was walking through town and I saw a poster of Yoda advertising Vodafone. I just went, fuck this shit. There's nothing else left. As a species, we've gone full circle and nobody has any integrity anymore. It makes me angry I can throw the end of my ship on the floor. But in about 2 weeks' time, I start my 10th year as a stand-up comedian. As if the 9 years of this roller coaster success wasn't enough for me. And because they say it takes 10 years to be a really good comedian. Now, personally, I think I peaked at about year 7. But what happened was I kind of have been living on the success of that for the last 2 or 3 years. And I realise I've absolutely nothing anymore, and I'm going to have to come up with a few. This is fucking. I'm gonna do this for you, lad. Right? This is something that happened tonight. I'm starting my own comedy club in February.
It's a gig.
But here's the thing. I was in. How many comedians are familiar with the Bankers?
Yeah.
I was in the Bankers earlier, and I bumped into Peter Byrne, who runs the Bankers, and he books acts. And I happened to comment to him that I was starting a comedy club in February. He then sent me 12 texts. Now, I'm assuming each and every one of these texts are texts he's had from people as soon as they heard he runs a comedy gig. It's an onerous task running a comedy gig. By the way, nobody fucking ring me or text me for a gig. Facebook me. If I like it, I get back to you. If I don't, I pretend I didn't see any Facebook messages. It's kind of the way we do things.
Gary, you're fucked.
Yeah, so I told Peter I was running a gig. Within 10 minutes I got these texts. Hi Rob, hear you're running a gig in February. Any chance of a slot? Happy to headline, support, MC, open slot, or just flyer. Cheers.
Who's that?
Peter Byrne.
Oh, Peter Byrne.
He's taking the piss, like. These are all, I go, hi Rob, I'm looking to fill my calendar for 2013. Any gigs, please? Then I got a third text. Getting ready for Edinburgh. Any gigs? The fourth text reads, coming back from Edinburgh. Next text reads, it's my birthday. Any gigs? Next text says, I've texted you 5 times. Where's my gig? Followed by, I'm giving up comedy, so looking for a farewell gig. Can you help? I'm sure I've texted him with that exact one myself in the past. Because about halfway through he came up the stairs and went, sorry, I wasn't having a dig at you with any of those texts, I hope you don't mind. The next one is setting up a sketch group, any gigs? Fuck's sake, Rob, you used to be cool before you ran a club. Now you're just a prick, where's my fucking gig? The next one reads, you never work in this town again, you owe me. The next one reads, sorry Rob, just under pressure, can't get a gig, any advice? The next one reads, I love you Rob, you're the only one who stays true to his comedy roots. Any chance of a gig? The last one reads, fuck you, I'm a writer now and I'm getting published, never needed you anyway, best of luck for the future from comedy. That was it. I just need to really write, he was joking, okay? I didn't write this, he did. I'll pass on the clap to him. I don't mean it that way. You know what I mean? But I just do want to reiterate that he was joking when he texted me those, in case you're thinking. But you know, I'll expect similar gigs around March, or similar texts. I mean, these chips are cold. But fuck it, they're free, so I'm finishing them. Yeah, it's kind of. I'll go in a minute. Don't worry. It's weird because I have come close to quitting comedy this year, and a lot of it kind of came down to. I got into comedy basically to talk about my past and get it out of the system and talk about my fucking drinking horrendous stories and. You know, but what happens is your past eventually catches up. So my comedy is now at a stage where I can only talk about my present. But when you, in a year and a half, have fucked 3 different women involved in comedy,
Name them.
Name them. I got names in that.
No. It kind of, you can't really talk about that shit because people might know who you're talking about, and it just, you have to, yeah. That's why I'm kind of verging more towards the music side of things, because at least you can dress it up in poetry. You know what I mean? You don't have to. So, but it's kind of, I don't know what to do with my life. I was thinking of quitting, but what do you do? Like, I worked in the printing trade. Do you remember that? Just for anyone young, the printing trade. Printing is like when they only had the internet on paper. You used to have to read it manually. And I drank my way out of that. I worked as a barman, that was great fun. That was the fucking groundsman, the poster becoming the groundskeeper. I worked as a video monkey for a chain of fucking video store. I'm not going to say who, but there's a huge fucking X in the name. That was fun. And I worked as a push bike courier. Where you have to be quick to earn a good living, so I didn't earn a good living. Don't worry, Gary, I'm coming off now.
That's your clue.
Oh, I have about another 7 years of stories to tell. But where do you go? Where do you go? I've been a comedian for the past 9 years. Where do you go after that? You can't go back to a day job because you're used to this. There's only 2 places you can go when you've been a comedian. I could become either a masked vigilante or a cult leader. See, this is the thing. You need money. You know, I mean, if I want to be a masked vigilante, I'm going to need money for grappling hooks and, you know, ammo, bat cave, shit like that. I can't do masked vigilanteism from your mother's attic. I've never tried getting out a small side window in full bat costume. It just doesn't work out. You need money for that shit. I need to actually rob a bank to pay for my life in crime fighting, but kind of one cancels out the other. Do you know what I mean? Because that's probably what bank robbers do. They're just people that want to turn over their lives to good, but they need finance to start them. So don't judge them too harshly. Before I have a full breakdown, I'm going to go because Gary's giving me that look. To be honest with you, I think he'd be delighted to have me up here for at least another 45 minutes. I usually charge quite heavily for my time, but you know, no fucker's giving me any gigs this Christmas, so what can you do?
I've heard you're starting a gig in February.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm starting a gig up in Belfast as well, but he's going to fuck off. Oh no, hang on, I'm going to need people. I contact you, don't contact me. Listen, I'm sorry about offloading on you, but you know, we have to fill the time somehow. I'm going to go out the back and smoke, and I'm just going to hide there till everybody's gone, so I can actually hold my head up high when I'm walking out of here. I've been Robbie Bonham, thanks very much.
That was Robbie Bonham.